Hi guys, this is Miss Baker. I'm going to go over the W200 for those of you who were not in class to deal with it. All right, what we're talking about today is we're talking about what is matter. Okay, matter is made up of atoms, elements, molecules, and compounds. Okay, so hopefully you've watched the other video. Hopefully you've look through the PowerPoint and you've taken your notes. So I'm not going to go through all of that again, but I will show you what to do on this page. Okay, so first of all, you need to do a color key. So you're going to click here, you're going to go to the paint bucket, and you're going to choose a color you want carbons to be. What we're going to do here is we are going to color the balloons. The elements should all be the same color. So anything that has a C in it is going to be red. Anything that has an O in it, we are going to make blue. I don't know why blue. I just like blue. Anything that is an HE, which is helium, we're going to make that purple. And anything that is an H for hydrogen, we are going to make that green. Okay? So you see, we're going to find the balloons with a C in it. So this balloon has a C in it. If you click right in the center, you're going to hit that text box. You want to click right above it. That will click the balloon. We're going to make it red. Okay, is there any other C's on this one? Look, there's a C here. So click on this one. Make this one red. All right, helium. HE, this one is purple for me. You do whatever color you want. And this one is helium, purple. This one is hydrogen. Hydrogen I decided was going to be green for me. This one is a hydrogen. This one's a hydrogen. This one's a hydrogen. And then oxygen we said was going to be blue. Okay. Oops. Chose the wrong part there. All right. Now, when we're counting atoms, atoms are represented as circles. Okay. Those circles each have letters in them. Those letters represent the type of atom this is. So my red one is a carbon atom. My blue one is an oxygen atom. My green ones are hydrogen atoms, and my purple ones are helium atoms. So when they're asking you to count the atoms, you're just going to count the circles. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you're going to type 5 right here. Okay? So how I remember this is Adam loves balloons and counts every balloon. So there are currently 5 balloons there, so you're going to write 5 atoms. Okay? On the next one, Ellie, the element, loves balloons, but she only counts the different colors. An element is a specific kind of atom. Okay? Here we have 5 atoms, but we've only got 4 different color balloons. So that is 4 elements. Same thing right here. You've got 5 atoms, so you're going to type 5 right here. Okay? And then you've only got 4 different symbols. You've got carbon, hydrogen, helium, and oxygen. It doesn't matter that you have 2 hydrogens. All you're looking at is the different elements. Okay, just the different symbols. So you would have 4 elements right here. Okay, I'm going to back mine up so it goes back blank. Now, what you're going to do here is you're going to create the same color key. Now, mine, the new one has SI here. If yours has HE, change it to SI. Go ahead and set your color key. And it doesn't matter what color you're doing. I'm going to try and get mine relatively the same. I'll make silicon pink. Okay. Now, when you have elements that have two different types of elements, that is called a molecular formula. The molecular formula, each new element starts with a capital letter. Okay, so right now we've got a capital C and a capital O right here. Okay, so this means C stands for chlorine and O stands for oxygen. This subscript, this little tiny letter down here, bottom left, says that there are two oxygens. We don't write subscript number 1 ever. So this says there is 1 carbon and 2 oxygens. So what you're going to do is you are going to color your balloons just like your color key says. I said this was green. Okay. All right, so I'm not going to go any farther. You continue coloring yours. All right, once you get those colored, you need to answer how many atoms are here. Now, an atom is when you're counting the separate balloons. The elements are how many symbols you have, how many different symbols you have. And this is SI. I know that I looks like an L. It always does. Just assume it is an SI if you see something like that. Now, a molecule is when you have more than one balloon and they're stuck together. That is called bonded. So CO2 is a molecule because it bonds 1 carbon and 2 oxygens. SiO2 means it is 1 molecule and it bonds Si, which is silicone, and 2 oxygens together. This one is a molecule. It's H2O. That means it's got 2 hydrogens and 1 oxygen. And this one is a molecule. It means it has 2 hydrogens bonded together. Okay? So what I would like you to do is count up your atoms, count up your elements, and count up your molecules. Okay? So the way to remember this is Molly the molecule loves balloon animals and bonds any set of at least 2 atoms. 2 atoms is really important for molecules. They have to have 2 atoms. And just like H2, they can be the same element. They just have to be 2 atoms. Now, continuing on to this bottom part, we're going to talk about compounds. Compounds is a specific type of molecule, and this type of molecule says that it must bond 2 or more elements. So the way I remember it is Connie the compound also loves balloon animals, but she insists on bonding 2 or more elements. So basically this means that you must have at least 2 capital letters here. All right, remember each capital letter says that it's another element. So C is a capital letter and O is a capital letter. That is 2 elements, so therefore that is a compound. See, this is capital S, lowercase I, capital O. This is 2 capital letters. Again, this is a compound. H2O, you've got 2 capital letters. This is a compound, but H2 only has 1 capital letter. This is not a compound. Okay? So go ahead and fill your numbers here out. How many atoms you have, how many elements, how many molecules, and how many compounds. Okay, on this one, I hope yours looks like this. If it should, if you have opened it since I fixed it. What I want you to understand on this one is atoms are the bubbles or the balloons that are not attached to anything. Okay? They only have a balloon. They are not attached. Molecules are attached to each other. So the first thing I would like you to do is separate out all your atoms in this top half and all of your molecules in this half. Okay? Once you do that, I want you to further separate them into elements. So all of the balloons that are the same color or the same symbol go in this quarter. All of the balloons that are another color and another symbol are this one. So you have 4 quarters in there. All right. Molecules are atoms that are combined. Okay. Anything that has 2 or more atoms is a molecule. So just though they are joined, now they can be joined like this, where they're just smushed together, or they can be joined like a stick. Okay? Now, when you are looking for compounds, you must remember, a compound is a type of molecule, but it must have 2 different elements in it. Like this one is a compound. This one is a molecule. Remember, all compounds are molecules. A compound is a special kind of molecule. Okay? You see how this one has 2 nitrogens? That is only one type of element. So it has to have 2 atoms, but if it's just a molecule, it can be the same atoms. If it is a compound, it must have different atoms. Okay? So sort yours to look like mine. Okay? All right, on this next one, you are going to use your periodic table that I gave you, your reference tables. It should have been yellow, and you open the page up and you'll have a huge periodic table. That periodic table is read from left to right and from top to bottom. So the first 3 rows, we're going to do the majority of our information from. But these symbols can be anywhere on that page. So always look at the first 3 rows. That is going crossways. If it's not there, start working the rest of the way down. So what I need you to do is find what H stands for. You will find this one in the upper left-hand corner. Then I need you to find HE. That is the upper right-hand corner. C, I believe, is on the second row down, more towards the right side. And AG, that's more towards the bottom. Now, you are going to need to write each of the elements' names. Okay? On this one pertains to these atoms, or these molecules right here. So F2, that's this one right here. So the question is this a molecule? Remember, a molecule is any 2 atoms together. So is this 2 atoms? You're going to write yes. Okay? Is this also a compound? A compound has to have 2 different elements, meaning it must have 2 capital letters at least. This just says F2. So that only has, F is 1 capital letter. So this is not a compound, so you write no here. Okay? So remember, these all pertain to these. Over to the side. All right? Now let's scroll down even farther. All right, let me zoom out so you can see this one. All right, remember to zoom, you go to the magnifying glass right here, you click the arrow, and you click the 100. That's the only way you're going to be able to see all these things. Now, on this one, what I'm looking for is, do you understand what the formula or the chemical equation says? So I'm going to do the first one with you. Well, I have done the first one. Okay, you see this says a capital C, so you write capital C right here. You're going to look at your periodic table. Capital C stands for carbon. And then this subscript 3 tells you there are 3 carbons. So this entire area right here means that this is a carbon, carbon, carbon. The next element written is H. So you're going to put an H here. H stands for hydrogen. So you write hydrogen right here. And then the 6 tells you that there are 6 hydrogens. The next one is O. Okay, so O tells you that that is an oxygen, and the oxygen, there is no number next to that. So that tells you that there is 1 oxygen. Just remember, whenever there is no number, that means that there is 1 oxygen. The way I remember it is if it says its name, then it is there and there is 1 of them. Okay, so I'll do the second one with you. C for carbon. Sorry, my handwriting is awful with this. Okay, and how many carbons are there? There are 2. Okay, so that one's done right there. The next one is H. I'm going to use periodic table to know H is hydrogen. Okay, and there are 3 hydrogens. Okay, that one's done. And the next one is N. Now I'm going to use my periodic table to find N means nitrogen. And there is no number, so I know there is 1. Okay, I will help you with one more, then I'm going to turn you loose on it. On number 13, this one is N. N is nitrogen. Because it doesn't have a number, you know that's 1. H stands for hydrogen. Hydrogen, there are 4. That's what this number right here says. Now that looks like a Ci. That is a Cl. Okay, assume that whenever you see something next to a C that's a long line like that, that's going to be a chlorine. Or an L, that becomes chlorine. Okay, and because there's no number, that is 1. Okay, if you continue on through this, I think you should find this relatively easy. Finish it off, send it in, and go ahead and submit it to me. Remember to make copies of each of these slides and put it in your interactive notebook. Okay? I hope this helps. Have a good day.